It is at this point that anyone watching in the VODs over on Aavak After Hours will come into this whole discussion. They will have missed the 45 minutes of discussing what this game is and how it differs from Stellaris, because they probably heard that like 4 or 5 times in the VODs at this point. Nevertheless, as I alluded to, I have changed my mind on some settings in here. I've decided that there's quite a lot of stuff I'd want to move around. I'm going to keep character locations on manual because I don't want the AI deciding where my diplomat should be, or moving people around who are demoralizing into my capital, because the AI does this a lot. I find it's like, oh, this character has skills that make the capital the best place for them to go. You know, the place with the leader and everyone else and all of your spies. The fact that they've got a demoralizing trait, which means they actively pull down the skills of anyone else in the same location as them. Well, that's not as important as the fact that you've got like a 2% better science output with them at the capital. The amount of times, because I've been trying to give the AI more automation in my private games, just to kind of see where they do well and where they don't. Character locations definitely need some work. Also, the AI can't understand my god tier intellect when I decide that, yeah, you know what, I haven't actually got any reason to put a diplomat on my capital, because I don't need my diplomat at my capital, but this diplomat has the inspiring trait, which means that just being here means that every other character at my capital, which includes all of my spies, are actively getting better at every skill they know, just passively. I'm wasting them as a diplomat, but I am, through putting them here, making everyone, including the leader of our entire civilization, better at being the leader of our entire civilization. I feel that is a fair exchange. I'm sorry, diplomat. All of your time in diplomat school is wasted, but know that you are performing a much more vital task for our empire. Your name will go down in song. Other than that, though, I'm going to fully automate intelligence missions. Now, I'm doing this with some trepidation because the game has been patched enormously since the last time we streamed this. Consequently, you see all these lovely, very high success probabilities? They're going to go away. Espionage is now really, really hard. Well, I say really, really hard. Espionage is much harder than it used to be. Let's put it like that. But, on the plus side, some of our... No, you really need to go. You're a tolerant double agent. No. Right, when you get back from your job, I want to dismiss you. You're so bad at your job. But once they've completed this mission, I think all of these probabilities of success will go down quite sharply because espionage has become a much harder job to do. You're energetic. +3 increase to all existing skills. It's nice. No other traits to speak of there. Have we got any prisoners? No. Okay. Now, that was intelligent missions. I want them to take care of that. Counterintelligence ratio, I want 35, well, no, 1/3 of all of our spies dedicated to the task of keeping enemy spies from learning our secrets. Target aggressiveness, the level of aggression when assigning intelligent missions to your spies. Higher aggression levels means that more spies will be targeted. Will target with intelligent missions, even empires with favorable diplomatic strategies. For example, an empire that is being set to be befriended may be targeted with steel tech missions. I'm going to say high targeting aggressiveness, but I'm going to say high mission difficulty caution. Oh, actually, normal. Yeah, we'll go with normal. This means that my spies won't try to perform a mission that has less than a 90% chance of success. I'm kind of hovering between normal and high, but we'll go with normal for now. They are allowed to do every type of mission. I might tell them that they aren't allowed to have revolutions, colony rebellions. I will definitely allow them to assassinate if they really want to. Allow deep cover. Yeah, I think I'm going to allow that right now. We're going to go through all the changes that I'm going to make to my automation because it's probably going to be a big deviation from what I had set up previously. I am not going to let them manage any kind of automation on my research. I am in control of that alone. Yeah, espionage was way too powerful to begin with, Union ID. I agree with the change. Also, you're going to hear me kind of facing away from the mic here and there because I'm still getting used to new glasses, and so I'm turning my head constantly in weird ways to kind of observe my environment. Fleet formation, fleet ship management, fleet postures. I am going to say fleet management. They can top up. I'm going to leave it to me to form new fleets. And I am tempted to say that within the posture that I've given it, so if I've said they are a defensive fleet, I'm going to allow the AI to decide where they are needed the most. If they're an attack fleet, I'm going to let them decide what their attack range should be and where they should base out of, where it makes the most sense. I'm also going to say that, sure, 10% of all ships made should not be in a fleet. I want 10% to just be available to do other things. Actually, I'm even going to go higher than this. I'm going to say 1/4 of all the ships I make shouldn't be fleet ships. They should just patrol and generally engage enemies. Maybe 25 is a little bit much. I'll say 1/5. Troop recruitment, I'm going to say is fully automated. Colony garrison level, I'm going to say should be normal. Attack troop level, the level of recruited attack troops, higher levels, means your colonies will recruit more attack troops to invade enemy colonies. I'm going to say that is high. They shouldn't recruit attack troops unless I am in a war and I want to invade. But garrison, I'm going to allow the AI to manage the garrison. I don't think it's something I need to worry about too much. I say with 6 planets, that's going to be painful. But we'll see how it goes. T-Khan? I just noticed. Yes. We're playing the T-Khan. And so naturally, we've made the empire of the T-Khan. The T-Khanate. It is glorious. Character skills at locations are now applied with diminishing returns. Yes, I know that. Thank you, though, for the backseat pass, because that, by all means, throw these backseat passes out where you want, because even if I happen to know something, because I've read all of the patch notes, it's sometimes good to bring that up, because I might forget to make note of something verbally, so it gives me an opportunity to spot something like, oh yes, just so everyone knows this is now the case. But yeah, so having multiple scientists in the same science station is going to have a diminishing return. So you do want to spread scientists out and things like that. But again, like I was saying, spies, for example, are always at your capital. If you've got a scientist with, say, inspiring qualities, then having other scientists around them just makes sense, because those scientists are now getting better, not just in the thing they're researching, but in every research discipline that they have, simultaneously at a steady pace. The AI won't take that sort of thing into account. I will. I will make a decision that I'm accepting a loss in efficiency in one area to gain efficiency in another. That's a little bit of a harder sell to an AI. Military attacks. Automate military attacks against enemy targets by your fleets and ships, or control this area. I'm going to say you can suggest them, but don't go for them automatically. I want the overmatch factor. I want a 3-to-1 strength so that we pick enemies off faster rather than spreading our focus around. Capture conditions for ships. When they're high-tech or larger than I can build, or I could just say capture everything. If I make a very ship, and I'm really tempted to do this, I would very much like to have a shipboarding heavy kind of military doctrine. I feel that the T-Khan capturing ships makes more sense than the T-Khan simply destroying the ships. Sure, murder, death, kill is fun, However, steal find shiny shinies is more taken. Definitely capture bases if they're in my own or neutral territory. Do not capture it if it's in an enemy territory, because then I have to protect it, and my freighters will probably die going there to pick things up. But yeah, I'm actually going to say capture always. Always capture enemy ships where you can. If they don't have the borders to do it, they'll just destroy the ship with their weapons, but they will try to capture them. Enlist military ships. I'm going to say never, actually. I'm tempted to say don't ever enlist the ships. If they're made of technology I don't yet have, I want them to be broken down so I get the tech, because that's more useful to me. And if they're not, I want them broken down so I get the resources or the money, because that's more useful to me. I'll build my own ships. I pretty much want to scrap everything I find, but I want the shiny shinies from within the things I find. The shiny shinies are more important to me. Especially the data shiny shinies. Disassemble military ships at a base for tech and resources, always. Always send it to be disassembled at a base. Enlist civilian ships. Now, when it comes to civilian ships, one freighter is as good as the next, really. I'm going to say if it's not high-tech or larger than I can build, which means it's made of technology I don't yet have, then enlist it. Just add it to the private fleet. It's not like I'm going to be paying its maintenance costs. Disassemble civilian ships if they are made of with a tech that I don't yet have. And when it comes to bases, that's a good question, actually. Because the thing is, I don't want to overwhelm my private economy, but at the size that our empire is at right now, our private economy is frankly obnoxiously powerful. Our private economy is getting 61,000 credits per month. Oh, sorry, annual. Compared to us, our cash flow is garbage. So I don't think the private economy is going to have any trouble maintaining more places that it can then send freighters to start moving more stuff around and make more money. So I'm going to say, sure, that you can, by all means, always enlist the base. Even if it's not a material, like it's a mining base that's mining something I don't need. The civilian economy will be able to work with it. Upgrading enlisted military ships. Well, I'm not going to be enlisting them, but sure, we would. Upgrade enlisted civilian ships. If the civilian ship is less capable than what I've got, sure, the civilians can go ahead and upgrade it. They'll pay me the fee for using my space stocks to do it, and then they'll have a better freighter. But if it's already better, go ahead and keep it. Characters at conquered colonies or bases. Capture if they're an enemy. Change empire. Or destroy. Yeah, I've captured the king of the pirates. I threw him into the furnace. Made him walk the plank. I mean, not too bad. Union ID. Well, enlisted civ ships auto upgrade flow tech. Haha, thanks. Didn't know it was a selectable option. Yeah, it is. I think, yeah, capture them, and then we'll interrogate them if we get prisoners. But if they're not of my enemy, like if some other nation had a diplomat at a station that I conquered because I was at war with the person they'd sent the diplomat to, I'll give them back their diplomat. Hopefully that'll improve relations. Automatically refuel manual ships. Yes, but don't retrofit manual ships. If they're badly busted up, go get them repaired. If they badly need fuel, get them refueled. But don't change their loadout unless I tell you to. Automatically refuel manual fleets. Yes, but don't retrofit them. But automatically retrofit automated fleets. Now, here's one big thing to understand here. Fleets, you can make more, like, it'll be easier if I show this. Right now, I've got one instance of every type of ship I can build. Named after chat, because chat are lovely, and their names should be known. However, you can't make 2 frigates. I mean, you can, but the game will get confused by which one is the more up-to-date one and which one they should effectively upgrade into. You can if you're willing to do a lot more manual organization of your fleets and working with the ship designer, you can like make one frigate which is more of a point defense frigate, one frigate which is an ion capture frigate, one frigate which is there to take down shields but not do too much. And you can build a fleet out of a mixture of those frigates. The game just won't understand what to do. Now, if I tell it to automatically retrofit itself, it'll get confused. And if I've got more than one type of frigate available, it just won't retrofit any frigates because it's like, I don't know which one's the better one. So if you want to give more automation to the AI, you have to accept that you can only ever really have one instance of each role of ship. It's a shame. Even if you're managing them yourself independently, the game isn't built to make that easy, sadly. I hope it's something that they address and make better in the future, but right now it's not really there. So I'm going to say, yes, automatically retrofit fleets, and I will just have one instance of each role. What does change empire even mean? Do they become a member of your empire then? I don't know, actually. It might mean that they do that, or it might mean that they are sent to prison and automatically try to be converted, but it takes time. I really don't know. But I want to see what we can do with prisoners. Military mission ratio escort, military mission ratio guard, military mission ratio patrol. So basically any ships that aren't in a fleet will be given missions. Escort civilian ships, guard planets, or guard locations, so guard a mining base, for example, and patrol. Now, patrol missions will favor areas where the AI thinks it's more dangerous. So, for example, along the border with someone that I've got poor diplomatic relationships with, or a particularly highly traveled trade route, because it's more likely we're going to see pirate attacks there, and they would be more damaging if they were. I am going to say we're going to drop this down to 35. I'm going to bump this up to... I could have this 35 and then at 30, but I think I'm actually going to go for 30 here. Yeah, and I'm going to pump this up to 35. So we'll have 35% of our ships just escorting civilian ships around, 35% of them gathering and guarding at locations, and the other 30% just flying around looking for trouble in case it happens nearby. This does affect fuel usage, yeah. Generally speaking, though, we're in a fairly good place with Caslon, which is the kind of the universal super fuel. Yeah, we are massively producing more than we need. We are not going to have an issue with Caslon. And our empire, as much as it looks like it's, well set up, it's fairly early game still. Offering gifts, negotiating treaties. That should never be something that you do automatically, but I will allow you to suggest it. Starting and ending wars. No, that is never to be even... I don't even want you suggesting it to me. I will make the decision on when we go to war and when we try to end on. However... if I tell you to befriend a people, I want you to keep them happy. So if that means you just give them money every now and then I'm willing for you to do that. I'm going to let my diplomats decide on that. I will let them suggest treaties because that's a bit more of a big, far-reaching thing. But in terms of starting and ending wars, no. Construction. Never make your own designs. I will always do that. Ship construction... There is almost never going to be a time when I want you to not repair an abandoned ship or base. Basically, these are like ancient wrecks found in space. There is never a time that I've ever not wanted to immediately try to investigate it and repair it. So we're going to fully automate that. Base construction. Now, generally speaking, they're going to suggest when I need a base. Like, for example, I've got a a shortfall of a certain resource. I think I might just still have them ask my permission on that one, but when it comes to base construction over ship construction, this is generally always going to be a private expense. So I don't really want them building bases stupidly far away, which is going to put our freighters at risk. I'm not paying for the freighters, but I don't want, like, for example, if I'm at war and I've got a base over here and my freighters are having to cross enemy territory to get there, then my freighters are just going to be picked off by the enemy for war score, and I don't really want that. So I'm actually going to keep that on suggest, but I will allow them, if I don't get to it, they can go ahead. So it's now a I can veto it option, but generally the AI will control it. Ship construction is another one that's a bit of a rough one. Because they will base this on my funding levels. I can tell them how much of the money that is coming into the Empire they can have for ship maintenance, and they will try to build ships up to that limit. You know what? I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try and pump the brakes on my compulsion to control every tiny minute detail, and I'm gonna say, okay, you can make a suggestion, and I'll veto it if I don't want it to happen. If I miss it, or I look at it and I'm okay with it, then I'll just let that go through. Now, as for colony tax rates, if I automate this, I'm gonna start losing money. That's the problem. Stock levels of colonies, you manage the stock, I don't care. Colony population policies, no, don't even try with that. Planetary facility building, I'm gonna say suggest and execute. Again, I'll veto it if I need to. Funding levels, no, I'm gonna control that manually. Target approval for small colonies, I'm gonna say 30 for small colonies, 10 for medium colonies, and 5 for large, and I will automate the tax revenue, and we are about to lose a lot of money because they're going to relax the taxes on a lot of our colonies in order to get their happiness at the pace where it needs to be. But the more rare resources we can find around the Empire to bring in and make people happy, the more they will tax them as a consequence. But that's going to take a big admin task off my plate. Hello, long time no catching you stream. Hello, El Genko. How you doing, mate? Hey, Future Planet, how you doing? Thank you so much for the 31 months, mate. Also, on that note, Chaos Outlaw and Styx, thank you both very much for your Prime subs. 16 months and 37 months respectively. Diolch yn fawr. Welcome back, Fortina Decay. I'm glad that you were able to get your medication. Right, so the colonies are good, I think. Colonization, that is 100%. You can suggest it. But honestly, there's a part of me that feels like I don't even want you to suggest it to me. I'll make the choice. When I feel that we're in a good place to expand, I will make a choice. I don't need you telling me. Send survey teams when? Right, okay, so this is exploration. Investigate abandoned ships when? Always. And report major findings. If it's like rote, it's like, yeah, we investigated the ship. It was just dead in space. Nothing strange about it though. So yeah, it's now available to be rebuilt or whatever. I don't need to know, but if like you're like, yeah, we checked out the floating dead ship, and the moment we got on board, we started seeing hallucinations and space ghosts, and then half of the science crew were eaten by. We don't even know what it was that ate them because everyone was so high off the weird gas in the ship. So yeah, we think this should probably be looked over by someone of a much higher pay grade than us. I want that report. I don't care about the other ones. Investigate ruins when? Yes, automatically investigate, always, and report major ones. Again, you know, if you release space ghosts or the science team went in with, you know, fur and then came out without any fur. Also, their skin was a weird color, and they started talking about becoming one. That's probably something you should let me know about. Send survey team. Now, exploration ships, survey teams. Exploration scans is just finding resources on a planet. Survey teams do a very thorough but very long analysis of the planet and can find a lot more stuff. I'm going to say, if I make a ship that has both the ability to just do a quick resource survey and also send an away team down to thoroughly explore the planet, only do that if it's a planet I can colonize, so I really do want to know if there's any kind of weird things down there that weren't obvious from orbit scanners, and or if you absolutely know that there is something hidden on that planet that your scanners can kind of see the ghost image of, but you don't have any idea of. That's when you send the away team down. Otherwise, just quickly blast it with the resource scanner and move on. How you doing, crafty old goat? Always great to see you in chat. Don't you remember how much money they want to set? Ooh, Jote, you raise a very valid point about that diplomacy option. Ugh, yeah, okay. We'll say suggest only on that one because, yeah, sometimes it's like, yeah, we want to send a gift to these people that will never like you because they hate space rats. But if we gave them 280,000 out of our 283,000 treasury, they might hate us a little bit less. That's a very good point. I will change that one. Thank you very much, Jote. Diolch yn fawr. Right, advisors and automation. Colonization, no. I don't want that to ever be managed. Colony population part, no. Colony facilities, yes, suggest and execute. Colony tax rates. Why are we looking at all of this again? Feels that this is very broad strokes, but something we've already looked at. Colony stock levels, funding levels, ship construction. Oh, right, yeah, this is basically just a much more broad strokes of the fine strokes of everything down there. So we've already set all of this up now. Okay, we're done. There we go. We're going to unpause and watch my tax income go down soon, probably. Okay, it is marked a lot of stuff going on. We have discovered a bunch of things, it seems. What have we discovered? Is there an enemy presence in this system or something like that? I think there might be. Nope. I'm not sure, but the AI has marked these systems as something worth being aware of. New general has appeared. Nice. Okay. I will have a look at that in a moment. And you would like us to build a new destroyer for 7,000 credits. I will let that go through. I see no reason to stop it. Right, so now things are moving. The game is playing. There are a couple of peeps that I should probably have a look at and move around. So first and foremost, let's have a look. Well, okay, my leader stays at Aavak. They are relatively good at many things. Population growth, not so much. Ship colony construction speed, also not so much. Colony ship construction speed, sorry. That's based on traits, so that can't ever change. This is a flat application to skills. But these are skills that my leader has earned, and they can get better with time. Exploration has detected unknown items. We can't work out what that is based on our current tech of our exploration ship, sadly. Also, Galaxy News. The Almnia Major Confederacy has invaded and taken over the rocky desert colony of Antares Minor 1 in the Antares Minor system. This colony was previously part of the Thalatan Supremacy. Okay. Cadwen, diolch yn fawr for the 6 months. More daps for the dapper one. Thank you. Much appreciated. You want us to build a planetary administration center? I would like you to show me that planet, first and foremost. On Zakar. Can I bring up Zakar? Let me pause it there for a second. Let's go to the Zakar area. There we are. How much are we making? How much are we losing to corruption? We're losing 31.5% to corruption. It's not awful, actually. But if I built this, we would A, increase the chance of getting ambassadors appear here, and also would increase our leader quality Oh no, sorry, that's an empire bonus. I think that only applies once. Location bonus, though, this colony would be happier in general, so we'd be able to tax them more. They would lose corruption, so there'd also be more money there for me to tax. They would become better defended, and also they would develop more, which again would mean more money for me to tax. Maintenance cost is 500 credits. This place is currently losing me money year on year. It's a small colony. It's only got 527 Teekans living on it. Sure, okay. We're going to go for it, though. There's a lot of stuff involved in that decision that I'm glossing over right now to allow some more stuff to happen. But one of the things that I think a lot of people see, so much happiness just pumped up. One of the things that I think a lot of people look at is like, oh my god, there's so much. Oh crap! I fear that we're going to lose a lot of spies right now because, again, espionage got a lot harder, and I don't know if that's the new difficulty level is going to be applied to missions in progress, but might be, might not be. We'll pause it there for a second. Corruption. They look at this. Oh my god, 50% corruption. What is this? This is terrible. I'm losing 110,000 space bucks. This is a grievous wound to my economy. And true, you might be able to do a lot of great things with that 110,000 space bucks. However, that's not lost money. That money didn't just disappear into some mafia boss's pocket, though some of it might have, I don't know. I feel that this is where the name of this confuses people. The white here, the money that isn't affected by corruption is money that I have access to on a state level. It's money that I know about, it's money that I can tax, and so I get tax revenue out of this. So my current tax rate is 35% on this planet. It's very high. But I'm drawing that tax out of this base revenue here. The corruption losses and anything I'm not taxed, that's just money that exists in the private economy. The people of my planet didn't lose that to the state. Like, in effect, everything but 38,970 space bucks out of the 111,342 space bucks that is available for me to tax went to the same place that this 110,816 space bucks went to. That is, it's available to private citizens. And what do private citizens do with it? They trade, they buy, they sell, they build. This goes into the private economy in some manner or another. So, corruption isn't a bad thing. You don't want to stamp it out because then your private economy would be crippled. But you just got to let the citizens, squirrel away some money. They don't trust the banks. They keep some of it in their mattresses. That's fine. We've all been there. Let them have that money. They'll spend it on something eventually, and it will eventually make its way to us. Probably in the shape of the private economy deciding to build a freighter. Corruption isn't strictly private economy money, but it's money that is available to the citizenry that makes its way into the private economy, which then eventually makes its way back to us. All roads lead to Rome. It's just some of them are much more scenic than others. This is why I feel that corruption losses is the wrong word there, I think. I don't like that it's called corruption because it makes it sound very, very bad. Like 50% corruption on my capital planet. This is awful. I should build more police. No, don't worry about it. As long as you're not literally, just going broke constantly, it's not a problem. And even if I had a negative cash flow, like I've made most of this money whilst in negative cash flow because my earnings don't count the bonus money that it's going to come my way when the private economy decides to retrofit the entire fleet of freighters. Then suddenly I'll just make 200 grand out of nowhere. The reason I was able to do that was because the private economy had that much money lying around because I wasn't collecting this as part of tax. Yeah, some roads take a detour. Exactly. But yeah, I feel that the word corruption is really unfortunate because I've seen so many posts by people just losing their minds over why they can't get corruption below like 30% or something, try as they might. And it's like, don't worry about it. As long as you have money, it's not a problem. This will eventually be your money too. It just takes a longer route to get there. Right, an agent was captured. Yadar Tagran has been captured while preparing to steal research information on basic troop transports. The exposure of this mission will have diplomatic consequences. They have been imprisoned by the Thalatian supremacy. Well, that is a shame. That is a shame, but oh well. But we're already seeing some people switching over to counterintelligence, which I'm glad about. We could offer them a gift. Or assign a mission to you. Do I need these? I don't think I do I? Why are you asking me to build this as maybe Krypton? No, we've got stupid amounts of this, man. That's far out there. Alright, I will allow it. But I'm not too keen on offering them a gift just yet. I'm going to allow that one to time out. But whilst all of that's going on, the next thing I really wanted to check was looking over my leaders. We're doing quite well there. The leader of our civilization is getting better at things. We've got an ambassador who's at the Thultan Supremacy. Is not so great with colony happiness, but that's fine. Now, this is another thing that I'm aware of. I think I've read this right. So if anyone... Actually, you know, I'll just slow down time. But I want it to be progressing. If anyone knows for certain who's playing this as well... It's like, I really want to just do one thing at a time, game. But this is not a game where you do one thing at a time. But never mind, it's automatically paused, so that's fine. It was a kind of a meta if you had an awful ambassador who, like, made colonies super unhappy, to stick them on worlds of your enemies so that they would make the worlds really unhappy. It's like, yeah, here, take my ambassador. By the way, he burns children to fuel his bubble bath fire. No, not ours, yours. However, I believe now that when it comes to the bonuses that any character applies, it is only applied to the same empire in the same location as them. So, this colony happiness doesn't matter to the enemy, nor does civilian ship construction or colony corruption reduction. They don't get applied to the enemy's planet. These things matter, though. Counter-espionage and espionage, well, not so much counter-espionage, but espionage matters, because when I send spies to the planet that this diplomat is there, his espionage score is going to help the espionage score of my spy, who's doing the job in the same location and is a member of the same empire. So, just a word to the wise there, I don't believe this applies in any way to whoever you've sent the diplomat to anymore. I think the only thing that's really going to apply there is diplomacy, because that's the skill that this diplomat is using to be a diplomat. So, yeah, you don't need to worry if they've got positive colony bonuses. You're not strengthening your enemy, nor are you weakening them with this, but these do matter to some degree. Right. Union ID, who is an admiral, is generally got some very nice stats. Great. You're commanding the honest bargain, periapsis flow, boarding assault strength. That's a shame. You're a poor recruiter and you're drunk. Great. Let me stick you on a planet where I'm not going to be recruiting anyone anymore. But you do have, you know, some nice other... Oh, my lord. Recruited special forces strength is down. Yikes, that's kind of nasty. Let's make sure that you're on Avakis. And I don't know if having them be automated does anything for you, because their location isn't automated. We've got a Void Soldier, 2... Recruiting anything on Avakis is going to be really bloody hard. But you've got tough discipline. Hopefully you gain other skills. I'm going to move you to a different planet, though. So you're on Avakeen, whereas Brian is on Avakis. Never mind. Rekoseri, you are currently on Hammer. You're actually pretty good. Good ground logistician, local defense tactics. Yeah, nice. Then we got Marathi. It's Patriot, very nice. Decreases the success rate of other Empire Steel tech espionage missions against your Empire. Against the Empire, not on the location, so it's fine. I would actually be okay with you guys being sent to the best place to match your skills, but... right, you're a foreign spy. Significantly increases the success rate of other Empire Steel tech espionage. I'm sorry, PH-8T, but you cannot be trusted. You've got some nice skills, but no, goodbye. Oh, sorry, I meant to click discard. Univenon. Damn it, Univenon, why? Also, goodbye. Ah, my lord. And Hana, Patriot. So, okay, we got 2 Patriots and we had 2 foreign spies. Really? So, combined, they were basically, cancelling each other out. But no. It's fine. So that's all of those characters. We've got a bunch of spies. They're doing their own thing. There we are. Mission success rates now are much lower, which I am a lot happier in seeing. Because that means that everything is now working as it's meant to. All right. Now then, let's have a look at you. And we'll also bump the speed back up to full. As your survey team enters the ruins of the Chamber of Manas, they trigger a powerful galactic beacon. The beacon signals to a nearby pirate faction, and they send a band of raiding ships to your location. Prepare to repel enemy fire. These ruins provide the following Empire-wide bonuses. 9% mining rate. Wow. These ruins provide the following colony bonuses. 5% colony development and 8% scenery. We can acquire scenery bonuses by building a resort base here. To obtain the other bonuses, we should colonize the planet. Problem is, not really going to work out for either of the species that live here. We've got the Tikan and the Gazurian who live in our empire, and neither one would want to live here, sadly. But okay. I mean, the scenery bonus, maybe get a resort base there, but everything else, no. Oh, you're about to be so unhappy when all of these ships decide to eat your face. You should probably leave. Are you set to leave? Please tell me you are. Do not engage. Evade. Do not engage. Retreat when? Enemies in system, really. If there's any enemies here, I don't want you in this place. Go. Please flee. It might take them a few moments. Our agent, Ukamaru, has evaded detection after successfully carrying out the mission to steal research information on early beam weapons. Hooray. Galaxy news. Underwater Leviathan has occurred at Opria, a colony of the Almania Major Confederacy. The main underwater city of our colony, Almania Major, has suffered a devastating attack by an enormous Dracul sea monster. Many lives have been lost, and the quality of the colony has also been reduced. That is very sad for you. Oh, first contact. We have encountered a new empire. Okay, let's zoom right out and see. Does it tell me where? Not really. The Empire is predominantly composed of Boscaras. The Boscara are naturally very hostile towards us. Initial communications with the Boscaras have been extremely successful. The Boscaras, regard us with some friendliness. Okay, so they're really hostile towards you, but they like you. They've decided you're actually friendly. There's something about being able to pet you. They just couldn't resist. Research projects are available on our tech tree, etc. Okay, well, we've met a new empire. That's fine. Let's zoom in, though, because being zoomed out that far is a bit rough. Construction of a new destroyer has been completed. Good. Under attack. Exploration ship, the Cowering Dream, is under attack by a forceful fist. You get. And our analysts, have learned the following about the Boscara. Boscara are a ferocious insectoid race with a tough brown exoskeleton skin. They are most violent and aggressive race in the known galaxy. They excel in combat using trickery and deceit to gain the upper hand. Boscara are untrustworthy allies. Boscarans' instinctive lust for conquest and expansion is without equal. Most other races consider them to be completely without scruples, and thus steer clear. However, Boscara have a natural ally in the Slukan. They're slightly more reasonable close relatives. Their technology includes the deadly Shakhtar Firestorm, an immensely destructive torpedo weapon. This weapon gives Boscaran starships very powerful planetary assault capabilities, allowing them to quickly take down defending spaceports at enemy colonies. The Shakhtar Firestorm also has a planetary bombardment capability, allowing the Boscara to wipe out the populations of enemy colonies. Boscara typically inhabit the forbidding terrain of volcano planets. Communities may sometimes also be found in the Rocky Mountains of carbonaceous planets. Duly noted. Mining ship is under attack by a Gravlex. That's fine. We'll get to grips with that in a moment.